Hey guys, James here, how you doing? So, I originally tried uploading this video to the TYT Nation channel, but it hasn't appeared there yet, and they don't seem to have put any videos up for about a month on that channel, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. Perhaps they've decided to simply stop uploading content there for the meantime. So instead I'm going to be uploading this video here, because I'd like to get this video out while the information's still relevant. It's also worth bearing in mind that I took a softer approach on this video because I was taking into account that I had a different audience than normal. Anyway, on with the show. Hey guys, James here with the first of hopefully many guest vlogs for TYT Nation, and today I'd like to give my input in response to a recent Young Turks video about, for lack of a better term, lesbian rape. Now, clearly I'm not a lesbian, but I have done my homework and I have spoken to a few victims myself. Curve magazine puts the number of lesbians who've been raped by other women at 1 in 3, and I've seen other sources with similar figures. The fact that feminist academics constantly fail to address this issue shows that to them, demonising men is more important than actually helping women. Now, I've said this before, but it's something which I'm going to keep saying until people fucking get it. If we want to end rape, then we need to stop viewing rape as simply something men do to women, and instead view it as something that people do to people. The definition of rape varies from country to country, and in America, state to state, but unfortunately they are nearly all gendered. The definition which I use is performing explicit sexual acts or forcing somebody to perform explicit sexual acts without consent. Now, of course, coming to the real figures for rape is extremely complicated. The only concrete figures we have are the number of cases reported and the conviction rates. There's also figures which are a lot harder to determine, such as the victim's perception of events, reporting rate, false allegations, and defining of terms, which make it quite difficult. There's also been an extremely large amount of very, very shoddy research on the topic, such as using ambiguous questions on surveys and self-selected opinion polls, which are basically the equivalent of standing outside Starbucks and coming to the conclusion that 99% of people like coffee. Now, using the definition which I use and the available data on the subject, rape really doesn't appear to be a heavily gendered issue. Now, I'm going to leave a link below to another video I did on this topic where I go into a lot more detail and talk about female on male rape, lesbian rape, and gay rape, among other things. But for now, on to what TYT has to say.
Rape. She's been charged with forcible rape, okay? So this is all alleged as well. And there are two charges, object rape and forcible sexual assault.
Man, that's the teacher, right?
Yes, that's the teacher.
I'd like to commend Anna for not simply assuming guilt at this stage. We simply don't know at the moment. And unfortunately, false allegations are a sad fact of life, especially when directed towards teachers. I also disagree with the media showing the faces of the accused. I think that the accused should have the same level of anonymity as the accuser in these cases. However, I'm going to leave her face in on this video because for the couple of hundred views this is likely to get, it's not going to make much difference, and unfortunately the Young Turks did bring her appearance into question in this video.
This is a trippy story, man. Look, it's obviously very unique, something we're not used to. Lesbian rape is not a story we cover very often, and it's a teacher on a student, and forcible rape with an object, etc. It's shocking. I'm literally in all the years of doing the news, never heard of a case like that.
Unfortunately, I can't blame Kenk for his reaction because it is very rare that female rapists, especially lesbian rapists, appear on the news, but it's nowhere near as rare as people seem to think. And lesbian rape can be extremely violent, as female rapists are more likely than men to use objects, and in one case even rose stems. I'd like to think that the fact that this is becoming more common on the news is simply a reflection of victims beginning to feel safer reporting such crimes, and that the media is finally more willing to address these issues. I'll leave a link to a support site for LGBT rape and sexual assault survivors, which provides information and support for victims.
And they're two women, and look, it's not good to stereotype people, but you look at her picture and you think, there's no way that that's a rapist, right? But you never know. I think that's the lesson to take away from this. Of course, she has to be tried, and you have to see if she's actually guilty. But you know, you see her image, and let's say she is found guilty, it kind of proves that you can't judge on face alone, you know?
I mean, if you were going to pick who is the rapist in the school, I don't think there's a person in the world that would have picked her, right? And again, she has to have a trial. We don't know what the particular circumstances are, and it could be very complicated. But if the charges are proven true, it's one of the most surprising rape cases I have ever seen in my life.
This is the other bit of the video I had a big issue with. Being attractive doesn't make somebody less likely to rape. If this was a story about an attractive male footballer allegedly raping a woman, their attractiveness wouldn't have been brought into question. The fact is, if somebody gets off on raping somebody, it doesn't make the blind bit of difference if they're attractive and have plenty of people willing to have consensual sex with them. I used to be sceptical of the claim that rape was about power, not sex, but effectively this is what it boils down to, and I hope that one day Kent can understand this. The causes of rape are complicated and multifaceted, but attractiveness, gender, and sexual orientation don't seem to be important factors. Our failure as a society to accept that women can also be perpetrators of sexual violence is a form of infantilization. It's viewing them as children who are incapable of becoming fucked up adults like men can. It's harming men, women, boys and girls, and contributing to the cycle of abuse which hurts everybody. So thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.